New videos every day.
Hello, my name is Dr. Vanessa Fritz. I'm a naturopathic doctor and licensed acupuncturist. One of the most common recommendations I make in my office is to tell my patients to stop drinking soda. So I'd like to talk to you a little bit about why soda is so bad for you. One of the main reasons people seek soft drinks or sodas is the caffeine content. Not always, but it's one of the big reasons. Everybody knows that a cup of coffee or a soda, anything with caffeine in it, can help perk you up and give you that boost of energy that you sometimes need on a Monday morning or Friday afternoon or whenever it might be during your work week. Every now and then, having a boost of caffeine can help you get through your day, but most people rely on it way too often and are doing it over and over again, sometimes starting their days with it or even ending their days needing that extra caffeine boost. Over time, what this can do is, you need more and more each time, so it makes you drink more and more coffee or soda. And in addition, after a while, your body just has a hard time handling it, and all the downstream reactions that happen from when you ingest caffeine start petering out, so to speak. One of these organs is the adrenal gland. So after feeding it caffeine over and over again, your adrenal glands just can't put out the same amount of hormones as it once did to give you that boost of energy. And so this is one of the most common ways we find a lot of people entering sort of a state of chronic fatigue. Now, I'm not saying it's the same as chronic fatigue syndrome, but we do have a lot of people nowadays who are tired on a regular basis. And so the best thing to do is to save caffeine for the very special occasions when we really do need a little bit of boost, and then find other ways to help us deal with our energy. And that's the subject for probably a completely different talk. So the caffeine on a regular basis can also be very dehydrating to the body. So another reason to not drink soda is that it actually ends up dehydrating you. You might think you're quenching your thirst, but in reality, what you're doing is losing water instead of feeding your body the water that it needs. Our bodies are comprised of mainly water, and so we need a lot of water throughout the day in order to keep us well hydrated and keep our brains focused and keep all our organs functioning optimally. For every 8 ounces of a caffeinated beverage that you have, you need to replace with at least another 8 ounces or another glass of water. Sugar is another really big reason why people are attracted to sodas, or at least that sweet taste. Nowadays, of course, we have a lot of diet sodas available that might be 0 calories or low in calories. But first, let me address the issue with sugar. Most of the sodas available in the United States today are actually made with high fructose corn syrup. And we've heard a lot about high fructose corn syrup in the news now. It might not have as high of a glycemic index as regular sugar does, but it can actually, our bodies process fructose in a very different way than our body processes glucose. And so most of it needs to be processed by, or all of it, needs to be processed by your liver, and it puts a big load on our livers. Our livers have a big job as it is already, having to process all the exogenous chemicals, all the chemicals from the environment that we're exposed to on a daily basis. Our livers need to process that, and you're just giving it a much heavier dose of things to deal with. And we see that it leads to insulin resistance. So basically the process that leads people to having diabetes, in addition to all the things we've heard about over and over again with our bone health and our dental health with high fructose corn syrup as well as sugar. Unfortunately, the diet sodas don't really take away a lot of the problems that the regular sodas cause, because our brains are still tricked into thinking that we're drinking something sweet. And so people switching to diet sodas for weight loss, or so that they don't consume as many calories as they do with regular sodas, the brain still thinks it's getting something sweet, and so it does nothing to stop that sort of craving cycle that the brain the brain kind of tricks you into wanting more and more sugar. In addition, we know that sodas are very acidic in general, and so just physically they can be harmful to the enamel on our teeth, and they can also be harmful to our bones, because a very acidic environment in our bodies is bad for your bone health. Another thing that's really bad for our dental and bone health is the high content of phosphorus in sodas. Anything that's bubbly, any carbonated vegetable beverage is going to have a lot of phosphorus in it. And there's an inverse relationship in the body between our levels of phosphorus and the levels of calcium. So sodas day after day will actually increase the amount of phosphorus and lower the amount of calcium in our bodies. And if you're not ingesting enough calcium, as a lot of us don't, we will be actually leaching calcium from our bones and from our teeth when you drink a lot of soda. So caffeine, sugar substitutes, in addition to not really helping people lose weight at all. And we've shown in several studies that people who drink diet sodas it does not help them lose weight. NutraSweet and Splenda and all these artificial sweeteners are actually been shown to be neurotoxins. They excite the neurons so much that it is harmful for their health. The neurons are our brain cells or any sort of cell in our nervous system. And so yet another reason not to do a diet soda. It's kind of a toss-up between a diet soda and a regular soda. Really, all I want my patients is to have no soda whatsoever. If they do one thing and one thing only, after they talk to me for an hour and a half, I tell them if you just do one thing that I asked you to do is not to drink sodas anymore. There are so many better alternatives out there. My favorite beverage for you to drink instead of the soda is water. Obviously, it tastes very different than drinking sodas, but please consider adding more water to your diet and completely eliminating the sodas for your optimal health. Thank you. And again, this is Dr. Vanessa Fritz. I'm a naturopathic doctor, a licensed acupuncturist at Austin Natural Family Medicine.